Welcome into the Eye on the League podcast. This is Jeff. I'm not injured. The rest of my team's injured, but I'm not injured. It's been a 3-week losing streak. It's been rough. Let's get into it. Biggest loser this week was the Purple Herbies with 152 points. Does not take the crown from the New England Shouters. Still in the lead for that $20 prize. Biggest winner this week goes to No Punt Intended with a whopping 162.65 points. In general, this week, scoring was down, injuries were up, everybody's feeling it. Luckily this week, we only have 2 byes. The Cowboys and Bears are both not playing, so if you have players on those teams, you're going to need to find a good alternative. All right, so let's do a quick breakdown of last week's matchups. Big Day took down Burlington's Burliest, and they did it with the running backs. 20-plus points from all 3 positions. I just couldn't keep up. Didn't help that my guys were very familiar with the blue tent. Got Marvin Harrison going out early. Jaden Reed left. Jaden Mason left the field. It was just watching people parade to their sidelines and not putting up any fantasy points for me. But a good week for the Big Day squad. Blowout versus Coach Klein. What the hell, man? You lost to Coach Klein, and it wasn't close. I mean, I understand losing when things don't go your way, but you didn't even start a kicker, and that level of arrogance cannot be forgiven when you lose by over 70 points. Yeah, perhaps the number 10 curse of the power rankings is real. Coach Klein coming through with one of the higher performances of the week. Caleb Williams is looking like the man. I mean, you got huge performances from all the wide receiver positions this week. 20-plus points. Joe Mixon was back on the field. Coach Klein just showing that they belong in this league and rocketing up to a 3-3 record. Blowout. The negative trajectory here is getting concerning. You're 2-4 now. Are we about to see one of those infamous team sell-offs that we always see? Just in case you're curious, the trade deadline is November 16th. Let's see how this goes. It was entertaining having all bark, no bite on the podcast last week, but they ultimately came up short against Doghouse. Doghouse got a 0-point performance from Trey Tucker, and it didn't matter. Still came through with the win. Overall, a very competitive matchup, less than 4 points between these two. Overall, an entertaining matchup between these two players. The Purple Herbies. I've been looking at your team the past couple weeks. You nailed the quarterback call this week. Jaden Daniels was the right call. I don't think Kyler Murray's got it this year, but you still came up short to No Punt Intended, who is just cruising to a 5-1 record and is really taking control of our league. He started James Cook, who put up no points, but it didn't matter. Came up through with a dominant victory. Purple Herbies, you got the loss, but you've been on a good streak. Would have won a bunch of matchups this week. I'm moving you up in the power rankings. In general, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you've been pretty squeaky about how you've been sitting in this league. Came through with a pretty good performance, even with no Travis Kelce. I think that you're going to continue to have good weeks moving forward. The father-son matchup ultimately went to the Sun. New England Shouters with a 126-120 victory. Both of these teams didn't really put up many points. I feel like that was a bad day for the Watmen. The reason why you lost this game was Dak Prescott looking horrific. You also had to watch your Dallas Cowboys lose. Then you got to watch the Mets lose, and they went down another game last night. In general, sports don't seem to be going the Watmen's way. New England Shouters, good win, I guess. I mean, Polk was a ballsy start, but it didn't really play out for you. I see that you picked up the latest New England wide receiver du jour. Good luck riding that train. On the plus side, Drake May looks like he might actually be able to play football, so all you Patriots fans out there have something to look forward to. All right, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the podcast, the Power Rankings Update. Week 7, we're halfway through the year. Let's see how we're standing. No punt intended. You've only had 1 loss this year. You're going to stay at number 1. I'm guaranteeing that we're going to see this team in the playoffs. Big Day, big win this week. Move back up into number 2. I think that team's finally starting to come around. Those running backs look like they're for real. Doghouse, too many wins in a row for me to keep you down. Congratulations on moving back up into number 3 spot and number 2 overall standings in the league. Purple Herbies, you're at number 4. This feels ridiculous to me. Your team's not that good, but you keep putting up points. So I've got to move you up in the power rankings. This is a reflection of the performance you've had and not the performance I think you're going to have. Let's see if I'm wrong. New England Shouters, good win over the Watmen this week, keeping you at number 5. Burlington's Burliest, 3 losses in a row. Can't keep you in the top half. You're down at number 6. Coach Klein, you're out of the number 10 spot. Let's see if you can keep winning if you don't have Magic on your side. Blowout, really poor performances strung in a row here. Facing me this week, I think you're going to have another loss, putting you down to number 8. All bark, no bite. Lost this week, moved you down to number 9. And now looking to continue the winning streak that those that have come before him have set, the Watmen moves down into number 10. I think you actually started this train off back when you were number 10 in week 2. Good luck down here. Quick standings update. In general, no punt intendeds in first place, but I'd also like to point out they've also had the fewest points put up against them by quite a large margin. Big Doghouse sits in the number 2 spot. We've got a log jam at 3-3 with Big Day, New England Chowdas, Purple Herbies, Coach Klein, and Burlington's Burliest. And then we've got the 3 players that are just hoping to make it into the playoffs at this point. Blowout, the Watmen, and All Bark, No Bite. Still plenty of time left, but people should start getting concerned. All right, matchup preview. We've got Burlington's Burliest versus Blowout. This is going to be surprisingly tight. We're both dealing with a bunch of injuries. I'm going to take myself over Blowout. I got to win one of these, right? Big Day versus the Purple Herbies. That's this week's matchup of the week. I think that both these teams command a lot of respect at this point with how they perform this year, but at the end of the day, you're both 3-3. One of you is going to rise into that top tier of 3 or 4 players, and the other one's going to be on the bottom looking up trying to get into the playoffs. So this is an important matchup for both of you. Doghouse versus Coach Klein. We here at Eye on the League noticed that Coach Klein has benched his entire team, trying to motivate them to play a little bit better, we think. Let's see how that works out for him. I see that Nick Chubb's coming back soon. We've got some hope there on Coach Klein's side, but not this week. Doghouse is winning. All Bark, No Bite versus the Watmen. As is tradition, I have to pick against my number 10 seed in the power rankings, so All Bark, No Bite is going to win this week. Come on, break the streak. Final matchup, New England Chowdas versus No Punt Intended. I'm going to call for an upset here. I think New England Chowdas is actually going to win this matchup and bring No Punt Intended back to the pack. As long as he doesn't do something dumb like start a New England wide receiver. All right, that's all I got for you this week. Please let me know if you'd like to be on next week's pod. Don't forget, we've got another London game this week. Good luck to everyone except for Blowout. See ya.
Stepped into the building, changes swinging on my neck, gold rings on my fingers, something on my wrist, tucked into my waist, still see me with a clip. Lip gloss of the Bombay, take a little sip like vintage sticks, still blast from the bars. Gold rings clip when I burst in the clothes. Just stepped into the building, show a little face, and I'm back on the